Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 4 of Raise Your Vibration. I just want to reiterate what I've been saying right along. I acknowledge you for your courage to do this work. It's not for everybody. Some of this work is intense, as you know, through the journaling and through the asana plus the journaling. And I'm asking you to kind of dig deep into your body and in some ways through your life. And I know that that's not always easy, but there will be a payoff as you continue to work the process. So I ask you to trust the process. I again ask you to let go of any expectations so that you can just stay with what is actually occurring right now in your life. So I just wanted to say that again. Okay, so week 4. 2 types of meditation. One type is passive, one type is active. I say general because you would get so many people to, kind of confront me about, there are several different types of meditation. The truth is, most of the types of meditation are brands of meditation, which is the same thing that happened to yoga. Is, if you talk to, depending on who you talk to, but when you talk to somebody like my teacher, who I believe comes right from the source of yoga, if you ask him, how many different types of yoga there are, he's going to say there's either yoga or not yoga. So I say that with meditation as well. There's brands of meditation, but what I want to dial into is the general types of meditation, which is passive, meaning that when you sit, you're not actively doing anything in your mind. You're not visualizing, you're not trying to experience something. You are just experiencing whatever's here in the moment when you're meditating. So you might call this like mindfulness meditation. It's a very Buddhist approach. You just sit with whatever is. The other kind of meditation is active meditation. Active meditation is more about controlling your thoughts or your feelings or both. So it's very much about controlling, creating, and using the ability of the mind, the ability to connect with a feeling body to project something into the future. So you might think of passive meditation as being in the moment. Active meditation, you're in the moment, but you're focused on the future. So Krishnamacharya, as you know, is the teacher of all teachers, who I believe that, not that I believe that, but most all yoga came through or by way of Krishnamacharya, at least 90% of it. Krishnamacharya said that you cannot meditate. You can only make the conditions right for meditation to occur naturally. Let's dissect that a little bit. In other words, you can't will yourself to meditate. Sit down, close your eyes, force yourself into not thinking. What he's saying is you can meditate, but you have to be willing to make the conditions right for meditation to occur as natural as digestion, as natural as organ function, as natural as your nails growing, your hair growing. So it should be something that you arrive at, or you peel back the layers of and get to naturally. Okay, great. The truth is, we have everything that we need to make the conditions right for meditation to occur by doing our yoga. Doing our yoga practice is removing the obstacles for you to land in meditation naturally. I want to say effortlessly, but there's a little bit of effort, but it should not be a struggle. Yoga, therefore, is much bigger than most people think. Most people focus in on the flexibility part and the physical part. Yoga is asana, pranayama, meditation, and nature. I say nature because during the process of you doing your yoga practice and meditating, you arrive closer to your nature, who you are, the gifts you were born with, the things that you naturally gravitate to, as a way of being part of the natural world, like, the trees and the tide and the sun rising every day. The natural world is you. We're not separate from that. So our yoga practice allows us to connect to that understanding. Okay, so another way to meditate, rather than being still, is moving. Our yoga asana practice is a moving meditation. Why? Because meditation is about what your attention is on, where your attention is. So as we're focused on our yoga practice and we're inhaling and reaching up and exhaling and bowing forward, and we're moving and breathing in direct coordination, we are really essentially in a moving meditation. And you might have glimpses and thoughts kind of passing by and through your experience, but the main focus is the breath and the movement. And over the course of time, you're peeling away the layers. So once you do your moving meditation, you are better able to sit still in your resting position or in your stillness and your still meditation. Asana, or your yoga practice, is essentially moving meditation. Then you sit in a more formal, relaxed meditation. So you have to move in meditation before you can sit still in meditation. Both are really meditative because of the attention. So what we really have in yoga is what I call the 25% distribution rule or principle. And what that means is our yoga practice, we can start to think of our yoga practice in chunks. So 25% asana, 25% pranayama, 25% meditation, 25% nature. Now, that's a mixed and matched 25%. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to do 25% physical asana. When you're doing pranayama, breathing and moving the body, you're in the 50% of the asana and the pranayama. You're also in the 25% of meditation. And you combine all these, then you have a complete yoga practice, which is where we all want to be in that space. So it's taking maybe the physical understanding of yoga and opening it up to be a little bit bigger. And that just looked like a flower opening. Right? It's kind of like that. So now this brings us to our present, right? Yoga's happening in the present. You're practicing your breathing, you're moving. It's dropping you into meditation, mindfulness, stillness in the present moment. Active meditation is the practice of creating your future that hasn't happened yet. So creating the future experience, things that you want to bring into your life. So the law of attraction means that we are sending or transmitting signals out to the universe or out from our being, sending it out. Remember, this is a little bit of a review of some of the things we talked about in the very first week, which is that this body has 30 trillion cells, all capable of transmitting and receiving. So we're working into that if we practice active meditation. You have to do a passive meditation before you get to active meditation. Why is that? Because if you go right to active meditation, it's a lot of mind activity. If you clear the way with your yoga practice, you drop into passive meditation, you're clear, then you can start to move into this more active meditating. So what we're doing is we're aligning ourselves to the things that we want to bring in to our lives by practicing how those things will feel in the present moment. So we align ourselves to the things we want to bring into our lives by practicing what it will feel like to have those things in the present moment. And if we do that consistently, we consistently practice active meditation with an emotional charge to it, and the emotion comes from feeling the feeling of what it will feel like when we get to this. Basically, what we're doing here is creating a virtual reality. I'm living in a virtual reality right now. This bus came through the experience that I'm sharing with you right now of meditating on my future, and I wanted to bring in the idea of living in this bus, and here I am. And so the journey continues. I'm now kind of going like, okay, here I am in this reality. Well, I'm asking myself the questions of how do I want to move forward in my life from here? So everything that I'm teaching or offering here I've put it on. I've experienced it in my own life. So you might start to embark on that a little bit. This week you are supposed to, whether you do or not is another thing, but to really bring in meditation connected to your asana practice. You go asana, breath work, sit still. I know the workbook says 5 minutes, but do at least 5 to 10 minutes. And if it feels good to sit there longer, sit there longer. At the tail end of that time period, you might start kind of embarking on this active meditation, which means you'll start to kind of get an idea of, well, you already have an idea, I'm pretty sure, of how you want to go forward, but you start to kind of pull in those feelings of like, oh, okay, so let's say for me, immediately in the next maybe 3 or 4 months, I'm going to head back to New York, and what I do every summer is plant a garden with my dad and kind of be in that space of growth and inspiration and just spending time with my folks. So I'm kind of putting that on in my active meditation is, what will that feel like to be there with them? What will it feel like to be standing in the garden with the sun out and the wind blowing and the birds chirping and all of it? What will that feel like? And so I get into that space because I'm sending the signal out to the universe that that's what I want to bring in. It's kind of like a grand experiment. This is not a perfect science. So I'm just asking you to put it on, give it a try, and stay consistent over a period of time. If you have bigger goals, bigger visions that you want to incorporate into this whole active meditation, the law of attraction, by all means, bring it into your practice. So you have the yoga, the asana, the pranayama, the passive meditation into an active meditation as part of nature, as you are part of nature. Not separate. One. Have an awesome week. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great day.